Hello DB besties, welcome to the Design Bundles YouTube channel. My name is Laura, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe down below, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, hit all the things. We don't want you to miss a single crafty tutorial. We post here every week with all sorts of amazing information for you. Whether you're a crafty business owner or brand new to crafting, this channel has a ton of information and resources for you, and we do not want you to miss it. That being said, I'm really excited about today's project because we are doing a beginner-friendly layered vinyl decal. And the whole purpose of this video is to show you lots of tips, tricks, and techniques for layering adhesive vinyl so that it's easier, cleaner, and headache-free. So with that being said, let's jump right in and start layering our vinyl decal. We're going to be doing this very cute Sloth decal today. So in terms of colors of adhesive vinyl, you need a cream or a light tan color, a medium brown color, a black or dark brown color, and then you are also going to need some white. You only need a tiny bit of white for this project, so if you only have a scrap or something like this, that's going to work just fine. You only need it for the eyes. And all in all, we're only cutting our decal at a width of about 7 inches today, and you can cut yours whatever size you want. So don't feel like you need a full roll of vinyl for this project. You don't need all that much. You can use what you have. You can also see I'm being a little lenient on the colors here. The actual decal shows a light brown or a tan color, a medium brown, and a dark brown, and I'm kind of using this ivory cream color, this metallic-y copper color, and black. Feel free to get creative and use what you have. I think these three are going to look really good together. That's what matters the most anyway. You're also going to need the file, which is from Design Bundles, and it is included with a Plus membership. So if you have your Plus membership, you can download this file for free. If you don't know anything about Plus membership, definitely check out our other videos on Plus membership and what's included with it. It's a great value if you craft a lot. Even if you don't craft a lot, it's a great value. I highly recommend checking out that video, seeing what it's all about, and grabbing your Plus membership because you get tons of included files. We're using this Sloth one today. We're gonna jump over to the computer in just a second, and I'm gonna show you how I set up the file, because that is part of layering adhesive vinyl in a way that makes sense, in a way that makes it easier for you in the long run. So we're gonna do that in just a second. But in terms of physical items you need for this project, you also are gonna need some transfer tape. Mine is StyleTech medium tack, and you're also gonna need a weeding hook, a Cricut machine of any kind. You could even cut this project on the Cricut Joy. You're gonna need a standard grip Cricut mat, maybe some scissors. You might need some scissors. We'll see. Scissors, question mark. To cut your vinyl for sure. So yeah, scissors. Okay, let's jump over to the computer and get our file set up first. Here we are in Cricut Design Space. I've already uploaded my file. One thing I love about Design Bundles files is they usually come in really clean. The creators of these files really do a great job making sure they're really user-friendly. If you've bought files off Etsy before, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes they can be a real hot mess. These ones typically are not like that. So I love that. This Sloth file is no exception. The first thing we're gonna wanna do is ungroup it by selecting this little ungroup button right here. And that's just so I can see how each layer is broken down individually, and I will explain that in just a second. But first, we're just gonna look layer by layer. So we have our white layer here, that's our eyes. I can toggle it on and off using this little eyeball right here just to see what's underneath it and what it's gonna be layered on top of. Whenever I'm layering a vinyl decal, I always love going through that part of the process because I want to really see how many layers are gonna be stacked on top of each other, or whether the file is set up like there's a cutout underneath and I'm gonna have to line that up perfectly, or whether I can just lay it on top. I always like to kind of know that in advance, and it just helps me understand the decal that I'm gonna be working with. And when it comes to actually layering the adhesive vinyl in real life after we cut the project, it means I have a better understanding of what I'm gonna be doing. So that's our top layer. One layer below that is the Sloth's eye contrast and hands. The creator of this file has that separated out into 2 separate pieces, which is nice. That's gonna save us a little bit of vinyl to know that they're cut separately, so we're not gonna have all this blank space in between. The cutting machine is going to optimize that to save some vinyl for us, and then we can place these 2 individually. If we wanted to, we could weld those together or attach them together so they'd be one big piece, but we don't have to do that for a decal of this size. It's also Also good to know, them being two separate pieces means we could technically swap colors here if we wanted to. If we wanted his claws to be that lighter color, or if we wanted them to be a different color entirely. Because they're separated out, we could do that if we wanted to. Below that, it looks like we have his face contrast here, and then we have our bottom layer, which is his body. One thing I'm particularly interested in though about this bottom layer is whether it is a full backing layer, and it is not. So it does not include his paws. As you can see, his little paws extend down beyond the end of the file here, and if I toggle them away, we don't have a full backing layer. And this is the reason why I really like to go through my files before I start cutting, because I love to have a full backing layer, meaning that I have one layer that everything else is getting layered on top of. I find that that makes it a lot easier for me to actually line up my pieces one at a time. I'm not playing any guessing games because I already have a starting point that serves as a shadow of my entire design that everything can be laid on top of. So I'm actually glad that this one doesn't have a backing layer, because I'm going to show you how you can create a backing layer. And that is by selecting your entire project right here and then selecting the duplicate button. And then on this duplicated version, I'm going to select combine and weld. And that's gonna create a full backing layer of my entire project. And what I could actually do now is delete this original Sloth backing, because we don't necessarily need to cut that twice. And then I can move my weld result to the bottom. And now our Sloth looks exactly the same, but we know that we can actually have a full backing layer to layer things on top of, which is really nice, and it's gonna make it easier for us in the long run. So now that we've set up our file, we're ready to actually cut it, and then we'll get to the fun part, which is doing the layering. So we're gonna hit Make It, and we're gonna let Cricut Design Space know that we are gonna be cutting on a mat. We don't need to worry about mirroring because we're working with adhesive vinyl, not heat transfer vinyl or some other kind of specialty vinyl that requires mirroring. And once I've told it that everything is gonna be cut on a mat, I can go ahead and click Continue. And we're also gonna go ahead and select to cut this on the premium vinyl removable mat setting. And I'm gonna select to remember material settings because I'm using the same kind of vinyl with every single layer that we're working with today. So once I've done that, I can hop off of the computer and let's get these materials cut, and then we get to do the fun part, which is layering our project. Okay, we have cut all of our layers. We have them all laid out right here. So now we get to get into the weeding portion of this video. I'm gonna take my scissors and just kind of trim down some of these pieces that I've laid on a larger piece of vinyl. And that just makes it a little bit easier to work with here in a second when we get to the weeding portion of this. This is not at all a requirement, but it does help you save some vinyl and is gonna make it a little bit easier. Now I can use these scraps for a future project. Our backing layer is gonna be our big layer here. I am gonna ask you to grab two things that we didn't talk about in the beginning. One is a weeding hook, and two is a little bit of tape. So you can use heat resistant tape if you're into sublimation, or you can just use regular old Scotch tape. We're just gonna be using it to hold down our backing layer. So I'm gonna grab those things really quick and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that heat resistant tape or that regular old Scotch tape brings me to my first vinyl layering tip for you, which is if you are working from a backing layer, which I highly recommend doing like we talked about before, I always like to tape my backing layer down to the surface that I am working on. So vinyl can tend to curl up, and as you can see, mine already is right here. And laying it down flat with some tape will really help us layer our other pieces on top and prevent things from shifting and moving while we're trying to line everything up just right. I always recommend doing this. I promise it will save you a little bit of headache. First, we're going to weed this backing layer, just gently pulling back. This decal is big enough that it's pretty easy to weed. I almost didn't even need a weeding hook for it. And then I'm just gonna take my tape here and secure this backing layer down to my table nice and flat so that as I work on my layers that go on top of it, I'm not having to worry about holding this piece down while I line everything up. So when you're done, you have this nice flat surface to work with, and then we're just gonna start working from the bottom up, which is my second tip. Always go back to your canvas in Cricut Design Space and look at what order your layers are in. Now with this decal, it's pretty obvious what order we need to work in, but when you get to more complicated vinyl decals that have 10, 12 plus layers, it can be hard to remember what order everything goes in. So I always head back to Cricut Design Space, I look at my layers panel, and I know that I'm always gonna be working from bottom to top. My bottom layer is right here. I've already weeded it and laid it out. And I can see by looking right here at my layers panel that the next layer up is my lightest tan, or the face of the sloth. So I'm just gonna take my weeding hook, quickly weed this layer. Remember that this is a very simple decal compared to what you could be working with. So some of the things that I'm doing today might be a little bit overkill, but I'm doing them so that I can show you what I would do for vinyl decals, no matter whether it's easy, hard, or something in between. So now I'm gonna take my transfer tape, and I'm gonna peel off a little bit. I like to stick it to the edge of my table and cut a full strip. And the method that I like to use to work with vinyl decals like this is the reuse a square method. So that's where I cut off a square that's about the size of most of the pieces I'm gonna be working with today. And I'm gonna reuse this square for as long as I have stickiness. Now, since this is only 3 layers on top of our base layer, I'll probably use this same square the entire time. The other day, I did a vinyl decal that was 12 layers. I only had to use 3 squares of transfer tape. Doing this can really save you on transfer tape, and I also think working with a little square instead of working with a whole sheet at a time is just a lot easier to manage. It's a lot easier to line things up. It's a lot easier to handle. So I always recommend working with these smaller squares. So I'm gonna take it and lay it down on top of this layer right here, being careful not to pick up my backing layer at all. I'm gonna use my finger to press it down, and I'm going to flip it over and peel away the backing from the transfer tape, not the other way around. With something as simple as like a circle like this, you shouldn't have any issue, but as you start to work with more complicated pieces, using that method to peel your backing away is really gonna help you get things to stick appropriately to your transfer tape and not pull up on you as you work. I'm gonna refer to my picture just to make sure I do this the right way. I do have his head facing up correctly, and then I am just going to line it up like I see in the picture, press it down, and then as I peel away, I wanna keep as flat of an angle as possible. And this keeps our backing layer from lifting up on us and just helps everything line up appropriately. I'm then gonna use my finger to kind of push any bubbles out that may have come up during that transfer process. And I'm gonna do that with every layer so that I don't start to accumulate these bubbles that I'm not dealing with as I go. I'm about to reuse this square, so I'm just gonna stick it on the side of my table. I'm looking at my picture and it looks like my next layer up is this dark brown or black layer, which is the claws and his like eyes and nose. So again, I'm using my weeding hook to get the edge, and then I'm gonna peel back with as flat of an angle as I possibly can to prevent lifting and pulling and to make this as clean as possible. I don't think there's anything internal to weed out here, so we should be good to go. And now I'm gonna use my little square here. I could actually make this even smaller if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna pick up the eyes and the nose and the mouth first, using the exact same method I did last time, flipping it over, pressing it down, and peeling away with that very flat angle. And then I'm going to line it up on my backing layer. I always like to find one piece to kind of line up that shows an appropriate angle so I can line it up perfectly. And in this case, I'm kind of looking at the corners of his eyes right here. Those clearly need to line up with this tan layer that we just put down. So I'm gonna be watching those for when that angle lines up correctly with his face so that I know I have it in the right spot. That looks to be about right here. And that was just about perfect. Looking at those smaller pieces can really help you line things up, and it's less like you're just kind of fishing in the dark for the right spot. Once again, I'm smoothing out any bubbles that may have accumulated on that round. And then since I'm actually working with smaller pieces for the rest of this layering project, I'm gonna cut down my transfer tape piece to an even smaller square because we're about to do 2 claws and 2 eyes. And I'm gonna do those one at a time so I don't have to worry about lining 2 things up at once. I don't know what number tip we're on, but that's my next tip for you, which is if you're working with a layer that is technically 1 layer, but the items are pretty far spaced apart, layer them separately. Layer them as 2 separate layers. It can be really tough to line something up when it's far away and you can't really see it all together. So I would always recommend taking the extra time to layer those separately so you can ensure that you don't make a mistake. So once again, I'm kind of looking at a small spot here. I'm looking at this corner in the upper right of his claw for the alignment, waiting till I see that line up and then slowly peeling away. And now I'm just gonna repeat that with the other claw. Flipping over, peeling away. I still have plenty of stickiness left on this one piece of transfer tape. Looking at this top corner right here for alignment, pressing down, peeling away with that flat angle. And now we're moving on to our eyes. So I'm gonna set my piece of transfer tape off to the side. I'm gonna weed first. And I also have to weed out the center of his little eyes there. Those are gonna show through from the underneath layer. And now I'm gonna pick up one eye at a time. All right, so for this alignment, there's really nothing I can do to line it up perfectly. There's not an angle to look at. I'm just kind of looking about how far it's supposed to be spaced away from this spot in relation to this little divot right here. So I'm kind of looking at that and just going for it. Peeling away flat once again. And then let's grab our last eyeball, put it on there, making sure that our eyes are at least lined up with each other as best as we can so that he doesn't have some wonky looking eyes. And there you have it, Sloth decal. So now what I would do if I was ready to put this on something would be to remove my heat transfer tape. And really you kind of have two options here. You're either going to be turning this into a decal that you sell or give to a friend, or you're gonna be putting it on a blank of your own, whether that's like a computer or a journal or something like that. Either way, you're gonna need some transfer tape. So this is where you can use the sheet you already cut if it's big enough, or you may have to cut a new sheet, but you want a piece that's gonna cover your entire design. And this is where, honestly, I probably could have left the heat resistant tape down because it would make it a little bit easier. You can see how hard it is to kind of get it to lay flat while I'm trying to get my transfer tape lined up. But what I like to do is I just kind of flip it over so I have a small little strip I'm working with. I get pretty close to the bottom of the design here, line it up, making sure that I'm lined up there. And then I just lay it down as flat as possible. Usually I would like to try to roll it out so that it would be a little flatter, but as you can see, that was not the move this time. So I'm gonna try to gently lift it so I can work out that little crease that it created. Sure enough, there it goes. But you can always do that. You can kind of lift up a corner at a time and work those creases and bubbles out if you end up with them, because having a crease on your decal can really make placing it on your blank a lot harder. I'm just pressing it down with my fingers, but you could also use a squeegee here if you really wanted to work on it. And then if I was gonna keep this on the transfer tape for a little bit and I wasn't ready to put this on something just yet, I would just kind of cut it down to size, getting some of that excess off and making it look really clean. So my transfer tape is kind of covering the whole product here. Then when you're ready to transfer it onto a blank or give it to a friend or sell it, all you have to do is tell them to flip it over, press it down, nice with their hands. This is also where having a backing layer comes in handy because it's a lot easier to transfer now that it's all layered onto one piece. And then they just need to peel their backing layer away from the transfer tape, not the other way around, just like we did before. And everything should come up all as one piece, just like that. Easy, easy to place on whatever they want to put it on because you layered everything on top of a backing layer. So here is our final product. Our cute little sloth decal. So that is it. That is the end of our project for today. I hope you had a wonderful time and now you have so many good layering adhesive vinyl tips and tricks for your repertoire. You are gonna be a pro in no time. And next time you go to layer like a 15 layer vinyl decal, you're gonna have no problem because you have all these tricks up your sleeve. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know what you wanna see next. Definitely like and subscribe, hit the little bell icon. We don't want you to miss a thing. We're back here every week with crafty tips, tricks, and tutorials, and you are going to love them. Again, my name is Laura. You can find me on social media at It's Laura Lambert. Follow me, message me, comment on my videos. Let me know what you want to see next, either here or on that channel. I love crafting with you. I'm also here on YouTube under the same handle. So until next time, DV besties, happy crafting, happy making, and we will see you back here next time for another crafty tutorial.